Hi, this is moreLearn Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Geico's been around for more than 75 years, back when they were using Morse code. Sorry, that's just my sense of humor. What's more, with Geico you get 24/7 access to licensed agents on the app, online, or over the phone, so you can talk to them at night or in the morning. So forevermore, just know that no other auto insurer has more than Geico. More power to you. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back in the New York groove. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks taking no shorts, just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, episode 345. I am Jay, and with me, as always, is Marc.
Yes, I am here, and we have a new stat guy.
Stat Guy the 19th, welcome.
What's up, guys?
Are you
Hey, Marc, how you doing today?
good? Are you like King Henry VIII, where previous stat guys you cut their heads off?
In my free time, when I'm not working, not doing school.
Okay, cool.
No.
What is the? How long have you been a Knicks fan? You said to the show. You said before we got on the show. You said you've been a Knicks fan since 2008 when you started following.
Yes,
what has been the biggest highlight you've had so far as a Knicks fan?
The 2012-2013 season when the Knicks went 54 and 28.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid season. I remember the opening game when they were playing Miami. I was positive they were going to.
I actually watched that game. That was a really good game.
I remember it was like I was shocked. That was a shocking start to a pretty shocking season. Let me ask this, that guy. So that season, what did the Knicks do well? What kind of things did they do well?
The next season, what the Knicks would do well?
No, that season, what did the Knicks do well? What were the things why were they so successful?
I would think it's because of the way J.R. Smith stepped up, who's sixth man that year, and also the veterans that year. We had Jason Kidd, we had a little bit of Rashid, we had Kenny Martin. Everybody just came together and worked as a team. And once those teammates left, as Jason Kidd moved on, the next season we kind of plummeted.
Yeah, why did they why were they able to build on the success of the 54 win season by winning 54 win games the following three seasons combined? Why did that happen?
I just think we were basically a ticking time bomb. Nobody really expected us to go 54 games, right, in that season. So the next season, everybody had very high hopes. Jason Kidd wasn't there no longer. He decided to retire, actually, that off season. And so Amar'e Stoudemire was still not able to, gain his previous form. So we just kind of – and also that Bargnani trade, that was terrible.
Would you say that year the reasons we did really well, Jay? I'm going to chime you on this. The reasons we did well that year. I mean, there are many reasons, but like some basic things we did well, where we won 2-point guard lineups, we won small lineups, we went Melo at the 4, we went with lots of 3-point shooting. Why did we stop doing all that stuff after that year?
Let's see.
Well, I didn't hear the word triangle.
I'm really not sure. I guess our players just couldn't handle that anymore. Raymond Felton was no good.
As an organization, we kind of just said, forget it. Those things didn't really work. So, Jay, how you doing?
I am doing great.
I am not doing great.
You're not?
I want to say I had a dream job lined up, and the dream job fell through, and I'm pretty unhappy.
Really?
Yes. I was going to be, I had signed a contract with ESPN to spend the next 6 months making up rumors about where Russell Westbrook would go. and trade things that can make up. They said you don't even need any facts. Just make shit up. We don't give a crap. And he signs his extension and screws me.
Unbelievable.
I thought I was going to be like, oh, Russell Westbrook said now that his eighth cousin likes the Knicks. That's why he's going to be a Knick. But now I can't even say that now because I saw a real headline. I think it was SportsCenter or one of the ESPN shows, a real headline that said something, I'm paraphrasing, but will Russell Westbrook opt out of his third year with OKC? They are now doing rumors for 4 years from now.
Are you serious?
I mean, ESPN must be like, they're just angry at Russell Westbrook for like basically killing all their content they had for the next 6 months. They're like, okay, great. Now we have to talk about something basketball related, like actually basketball related.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Stat guy, was Russell Westbrook ever going to come to the Knicks?
Excuse me?
Is Russell Westbrook ever going to come to the Knicks?
Well, I know he loved Porzingis, just like Kevin Durant. That was about it, though.
The answer is yes when he's 40 years old. So let's talk about some Knicks. What's some Knicks-related news, Jay? What's going on?
Another episode, another new player.
Three new players.
Yeah, so I guess we should go over the signings.
Stat guy, who are the three new players we got?
I know we got Randle,
Yes.
correct? Yeah, we got
Not a good start for you, stat guy.
I know, right?
It's basic Knicks news. Okay, Jay. So they got Ron Baker, Randall,
Yeah.
and they got a third guy who you don't need to learn his name because he will not be on the roster.
Okay.
Some guy the Sixers drafted in last year. J. Stat guy, you want to look this up while we
Oh, Tokoto, right?
Tokoto. There's no chance he's going to be on. He is basically
Yeah,
on the
no
line,
way.
so he could. We have guys to practice against in training camp. So, what do you think of all these signings, Jay? I mean, actually, all three guys I think are guards. Only one of them probably got a roster spot. Maybe two of them, if they decide to cut Plumlee brother, whatever his first name is. Who cares? Jay, what do you think of all these moves?
I really like it. It's a position we need. You're allowed to bring 20 guys into camp. So why not make these guys fight for spots?
Yeah.
And, if it works out, great. If not, it's really it's not a big loss. It's not really going to hurt the team. So let's get some good old-fashioned rivalries going to make everyone try a little harder for that spot.
Any of these guys you like better? Like, who is your odds-on favorite?
I would say Randall and Baker.
Yeah, I say Randle.
Do you think there's a chance they cut Plumlee?
Yeah, I think there's a good chance. I mean, do we
Yeah.
need like a fourth backup center?
I mean, the thing is, Phil went in pretty early guaranteeing his contract.
I
And it's
know.
not like a lot. I mean, to me, it's a lot of money. But like in James Dolan, like NBA world, the money they could lose by just cutting him is not that much money.
The thing is, I think they liked what they saw from him, but if we have a guard that exceeds their expectations, his contract's low enough where they could just, kind of get rid of him.
I would say that's fair. I feel like at least one of these guys should be. Whoever they do bring on, Baker or Randall, they'll be in a good position to learn from two very good NBA players, even if they're not. I don't know how good Rose and Brandon Jennings will be this season, but they have a lot of, I hope, wisdom to impart to one of these two guys, if not both of them. I just want young guys on the team. So, and it sounds weird for me to say I want young guys. That's a weird statement. Anyway, that's what else happened in Knicks world, Jay?
Melo is at the Olympics.
Yes. Did you see there was a video posted about comparing Olympic Melo versus Nick Melo?
No,
Yeah,
I
I've
didn't
seen
see
that.
The basic
breakdown.
Yeah, B-ball breakdown. The basic comparison was in the Olympics, Melo becomes a fantastic spot-up shooter who can kind of take it to the basket also. Holds the ball for half the time he holds the ball at the Knicks.
as a second option or third.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
do you think any of that stuff will carry over this year, Jay?
I hope so. I mean, you got to think, like, seeing all this winning by like 50 points a game is going to make him be like, I got to do whatever I got to do.
Do you think, I mean, he was used a lot as a spot-up shooter, and maybe it's just harder when he's the first option and he's getting, the other team has to worry about him, and they're always having a guy on him. Do you think they can get him open a little more as a spot-up shooter with the fact you'll have Rose driving to the basket? If guys can actually get to the basket.
Well, that's where I think Lee is going to be big, too, because now it's going to be harder to double up on Melo when you have a legit outside shooter on the team. So, and you know, also with Rose driving and Noah's a really good passer, I realize how key it is having a center that can pass. We had my rec league basketball team. One guy called out and he's like, "Oh, I'll just send my buddy." His buddy was like the 6'5" guy who was a ridiculous passer, and I ended up with the ball open under the net like every single play, and I'm like, "Oh, this is what it's like actually playing with somebody who's good at passing." That's awesome.
Yeah, I have to think, and I have to also think KP. He may not make the jump to All-Star yet, but he's still going to be better than last year, and he's going to be a guy you're going to have to really worry about. There should be a lot more open looks in this offense for Melo. Maybe we're not going to get quite Olympic Melo. We'll get a pretty good. I think we'll have a better Melo than we had last year. When was the last time? How did the Knicks do the last time Melo was in the Olympics? Is that guy?
Last time Melo was on the Knicks, wasn't that the
last time Melo was in the Olympics? How did the Knicks do?
They went 54 wins that
54
season.
wins again. Exactly.
Lock it in.
Again. 54. Every time Melo goes to the Olympics, we win 54 games. I need a small sample size, as in I'm just looking at last time, but I think I see a pattern.
I think it matters. I think so.
Yeah, I think I have to say for Melo, you have to say, I guess he wants to be a Knick for life or for a long time. Great.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, he's suffered a lot of losing, so I can see why he'd want to play with a bunch of really great winning team. Hopefully he can get that stuff to carry over. Jay, you want to do a quick Where Are They Now segment?
Sure. Where are they now?
Jay, do you, in related news, Jay, have you thought about getting a life coach?
A life coach. I actually tried to do that once.
You tried to get a life coach?
Well,
you tried to be one.
I was contacted. I got in contact with one, and then I realized how ridiculously expensive it was for a guy to just tell me to pay my bills and show up to work.
Well, we can talk about your life coach experience another time, but I do have a good one for you. Meta World Peace is now working as a life coach.
Oh, well, he's made great decisions in his life, so I could see why he'd want to pass that knowledge on to other people.
Yes, he also actually still wants to play in the NBA, but he's serving as a life coach. Apparently, to some NBA players, or I'm not sure, but I guess like he'd be a great life coach for an NBA player. He could say things like, "Hey, I know they're booing you. Don't go into the stands and beat them up. I'm telling you, it's not going to work out."
When you're a rookie, don't get drunk before the games. That actually happened.
Those kind of things. Jay, would you would you let Meta World Peace be your life coach?
Only if he legally changed his name to Meta World Life Coach.
I'm going to tell you my first lesson is don't change your name to something completely ridiculous.
Do you think he'd get mad if I just kept calling him Ron Artest?
How could you get mad? That's your. I mean, I guess it's not your legal name anymore, but it was your legal name. You can't be like, so I am Meta World Peace now. How dare you call me Ron Artest? You spit in my family. I'm going to murder you.
I could see him saying all of that.
Yeah, I probably would. And probably if I met him, I'd call him Meta World Peace because I'd rather call him that prior to getting hit. What's going on? What else is new in the Knicks world? Is there a certain former Knicks coach that's trying to make a comeback?
Oh yeah, Derek Fisher.
Yes. Dude, the Knicks already are paying him this year. Should we just have him play for us?
Oh my goodness.
Would it be so? Here's the question: would it be a complete disaster to have Derek Fisher playing for us on the roster? Anyone want to answer, Jay? Stat guy?
No, I don't want to answer.
Stat guy. You complete disaster having Derek Fisher on our roster.
Oh man.
Yes, it would be a complete disaster. You can't have a former coach you fired last season on your roster.
Mhm.
It would be absurd, but
That would be hilarious.
it would be really hilarious when he starts sleeping with Willie or Billy Hermingdon.
Oh, wait. I misunderstood the story. He's trying to make a comeback as a player?
Yeah.
I thought you meant he was trying to make a comeback as a coach.
Well, I mean, that would make
No,
more
as a
sense.
player.
He wants to play in the NBA again.
Oh, well, why don't him and Baron Davis and a couple other guys just start like a YMCA league?
Should there be like a yeah, I mean not like a wine, but like should there be a like an old timers league? They could play at halftime during games.
I mean, tell me you wouldn't watch a game with like Rashid and Kurt Thomas and Fisher and Baron Davis.
Actually, wouldn't it be an amazing idea? You take the old timers, have a 2-on-2 tournament, and you have them at halftime during games. I would love to see that during a game.
Absolutely, even if it's half court, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that would be freaking. I don't think you could do full court, but it'd be pretty amazing to see like Rashid and Derek Fisher versus I don't know, Jordan and
Spreewell.
Iverson.
yeah, I need those combination. Steph Marbury comes back, dominates the two-man league.
So there's also another. Where are they now?
Yes, what?
Andrea Bargnani.
I'm going to say where are they now? Somehow making Knicks fans suffer somewhere in the world.
He signed a contract in the EuroLeague.
Sounds about right.
So we're still giving up assets for him, and he's not even in the NBA.
Stat guy.
Wow.
Will that EuroLeague team be sorry they signed Bargs?
Oh my goodness. I feel like, oh man. You think he'll be able to dominate there?
Okay, what team is going to be better? The Euro team that signed Bargs or the Israeli team where Amari's playing?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to give it to Amari there.
So it also came out that a little more news since we last we haven't been on for 2 weeks. A little more news on the Amari story where basically he wanted to retire like as a Phoenix Sun, and they didn't return his phone calls, so that's why he retired as a Knick, which made a lot more sense to me. Not that it didn't make much sense that they didn't return his phone calls, but it made a lot more sense why he retired a Knick versus a Phoenix Sun. Because I thought that was a weird story for him to retire as a Knick. Did that make a lot of sense to you with him, Amari retiring as a Knick?
Excuse me?
Did it make a lot of sense to you that Amari would retire as a Knick?
I feel like it does. I mean, for him, maybe the Suns would have been the better route, being that he spent most of his career there. But definitely, I think so. He turned the Knicks franchise around, actually build a winning culture for a couple years.
But
and then Melo came.
What exactly does he brought what was it everyone said? He put New York back on the map. Was that the big phrase?
He made the Knicks relevant again.
He made Knicks relevant again. What does that actually mean? Isn't that kind of a meaningless statement?
That means they made the playoffs twice in 5 years.
Okay. Let's move on to something more interesting.
In case you're wondering, Bargnani is with the Saski Baskonia of Spain.
Stat guy, say that 5 times fast.
So he's only 30 and he's out of the NBA.
He's only 30?
Yeah.
Wow. That's shocking that he's only 30.
He's actually supposed to be in his peak, his prime right now.
Yeah, I think his peak is to not be in the NBA.
Yeah, true.
Wow. It really is like the last stop in your career downfall is coming to the Knicks.
Yeah.
You're like, I think I have a long future. Just play 1 year as the Knicks and you'll be out of the NBA right there. So we had a big release. While you were not big releases and the Knicks released anyone, but a big event happened. They had the premiere of Part 4 of the Phil Jackson Chronicles.
Oh wow, I missed parts 2 and 3.
We talked about Part 3 was the whole Phil Jackson going, They should have a 4-point shot. The shot clock should be 45 minutes long.
Oh, that was part 3? Okay, then I didn't.
That was part 3, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm up
So,
to date.
Stat Guy, what the hell are the Charlie Rose, Phil Jackson Chronicles?
Charlie Rose?
Charlie Rosen.
I
Stat Guy, do you know
have
anything?
no idea. I do not know that.
Charlie Rosen is Phil's confidant, and he does he covers the Knicks throughout the year, or I guess covers
Okay.
Phil throughout the year. And after the year's over, releases what they call the Phil Jackson Chronicles, which is recapping what Phil was thinking at certain points of the season. It is one of the more bizarre things that Phil does beyond the triangle. But so the most recent part 4 picks up end of January. And the Knicks were, I think, 22-26. And this is
Okay.
when Melo was just gotten injured. Do you think it's bizarre that they had this in the first place? Like, why? Even if this guy was chronicling Phil Jackson throughout the season, why not just release everything all at once? Why do we have to wait for each part? Anyway, so he chronicled.
It's for page hits, really.
Chronicles.
I know. Anyway, so he chronicled the what was going on with the Knicks, and this is 5 games prior to Derek Fisher being fired. And the quote from him was, "We finally feel like a team. We've learned how to format our offense, the spacing, the key passes, reading the defenses. There are inevitable lapses, but for the most part, it's all become routine."
See,
Now
reading these things is weird because you're reading a new article, but then the timeline is like 6 to 9 months ago. So it's,
it's 5 games before they fired Derek Fisher. So this is also even more bizarre because he was saying everything's going well.
right.
Now we're focusing on developing individual skills, so we'll be able to freelance within the context of the triangle. He said he understands it's an ongoing process. Of the 14 players suited up for tonight's game, he notes 9 of them are new to the team this season, so the guys are still getting used to playing with each other.
So either something really happened in the next 5 games, or it's an article of lies.
I don't know, because then I assume part 5 of this chronicle thing will come out, and it'll have something insane about Derek Fisher that happened that we don't know about.
I hope so, because if it's just I don't know, if there's no explanation, it'll just be even weirder.
It feels like, and I walked in, and Derek Fisher was having sex with my sister.
And you're like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, there has to be something what? Why the hell was not that he was a great coach, but why was Derek Fisher fired?
Just make something up.
I'm guessing they had very high expectations for him. I really don't know. They went a few games below 500, and then they brought in Rambis.
I mean, they had been 500, and then they went on a 9 or 10 game losing streak. And I understand things were going bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing I don't understand. He could have just said things are. He just gave weird explanations. He was saying how Fisher wasn't sticking close enough to the triangle and not utilizing his coaches well enough. Which is, I guess, fine to say if that's what he thinks, but then to have him now come out that he said something completely different 5 games beforehand, that everything was going well, the triangle was going well, is kind of weird.
Well, hopefully part 5 will have a lot of drama.
I mean, it's so it doesn't really matter. No one misses Derek Fisher or feels like he was so wrong, but we're pretty sure he was fired for sleeping with someone's wife or someone's girlfriend. That has to be the truth.
We'll just go on that assumption until it's proven otherwise.
We won't call it fact until part 5 confirms it.
I mean, every other media outlet makes up stuff. Why can't we?
Yeah. I mean, I'll just okay. Sources report this happened. I'm citing sources, so it's okay. Jay, we got what do we got? Twitter, email. What do we got this week?
Yeah, we got all that stuff. You want to start with Twitter?
Sure, hit us.
All right. And
That guy. Do you like Twitter?
Yes, sir. Excuse me?
Do you like Twitter?
I don't really use that. I use Instagram.
You go to Instagram. What do you do? Do you use Snapchat?
No, actually. I know that new story feature in Instagram.
What's the story feature?
kind of negated that.
What is the story feature on Instagram?
They basically stole Snapchat's whole identity and copy and pasted it onto Instagram's application.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep.
Good for them. Good for them. I got nothing more about. I don't actually even understand what the purpose of Snapchat was besides showing naked pictures of each other. I've never actually used it, but who's the NBA player most recently involved in using it?
Draymond Green.
Yes, Jay. Did you get that text from Draymond Green?
I did, yeah. I didn't reply yet, though. I'm a busy guy.
Okay. I knew it was meant for you. Okay, here's some questions.
All right. So this is from NCK, my favorite podcast. You two guys are super. A question so I could be on the podcast. Preseason pick for best Knick player this year.
Best Knick player.
Well, let's eliminate Melo from this. When I say Melo's probably going to be the best Knick player this year, are we all going to agree on that?
Okay.
Okay,
But-
best Knick player not named Melo.
Okay.
Best
Okay.
Knick player who doesn't have a brand.
The best Knick player who will hold the ball the least. I'm going to say the best Knick player besides Melo this year will be KP.
Yeah, I think so too.
Jay?
Just to be different, I'll say Courtney Lee.
I feel like everyone, that's the one thing that is the biggest. I mean, as much as the health of everyone's an X factor, I feel like how big of a jump KP can take is a huge X factor also. Because if KP can take an actual jump and be the next level, that could get us in the playoffs easily.
Yeah.
You think, Jay?
Yeah, I know. Totally can't argue with that.
Jay, what date will Derrick Rose suffer his season-ending injury?
I'm gonna say
If I was going to make you forget that, if I was going to make you a bet on his health, what's your over/under for how many games you really think he'd make? Like you'd actually place money on it.
he played a lot last year, right?
Yeah, he played 66 games. Let's say 66 games from last year. Over/under, will he more than 66 or less?
Under just because he's on the Knicks.
I'll take over. What do you want to bet?
Burger bet.
Burger bet. Sure. I'm down. Stat guy, are you willing to bet your family's home?
Against our burger.
Yes, that's it. If I'll take the bet. If Derrick Rose plays more than 66 games, I will buy you a hamburger. If he plays less, your family's home is mine. You down?
Yeah, I'm down. I can bet he plays more.
Okay. I assume you'll get your parents' approval after the show's over and send us a signed contract.
Yeah, give us your mom's cell phone number so we can call her
All
up.
right.
I'll give you the same. Noah, 70 games. Under over.
I'm going way under for that one.
Way under.
Yeah, I think I'll go under.
Where do you see it? 60 games?
60 seems like the magic number for that. I would probably still say under, but I think that sounds about right.
I'm going to say he was. I heard his his new workout regimen where Phil Jackson does pull-ups off his arm is going to make him a better player. I'm going to go 70 games or more because why not?
Okay.
And Melo, 75 games.
Yeah,
75?
yeah. That's a good one.
What do you think?
No, there's no way Melo's playing 75.
Melo, really?
Has
Well,
Melo ever played it
yeah,
over 75?
That guy. How many games did Melo play last year?
I think he played around
Stat guy, you're
75.
not supposed to
77, I think.
77. Do you know or do you think, Stat guy? You have to know.
Let's see.
Part of being stat guy is being one of the quickest Googlers on earth.
I don't care how you know the information. You just need to know the information.
Right.
Stat guy, if I beat you to this will be pretty bad, Stat guy. Okay,
Completely.
so Stat guy's internet connection is slow. He played 72 games last year.
72?
72. He missed that. He missed that stretch. Remember that when he tripped over the ref's leg and then he was out for like 7 or 8
Oh,
games.
yeah, I remember that.
The last couple of years, 72, 40, 77, 67, 55. Well, so that
I think the 55 was the
strike shortened season.
that was the year that was 66, but he still missed 11 games.
Yeah. Still not as good. Not as many games as you'd want him to play. Courtney Lee, 75 games over under.
Lock it in.
Over. Is that guy?
He might be an Iron Man this year. Who knows? He might go 82.
Based on our depth at guard, how many minutes a game does Courtney Lee have to play for us?
Courtney Lee. I feel like he might have to play at least 25 minutes, at least.
The actual correct answer, sorry, it's that guy, is 47 minutes a game. We can, based on 47. Based on our card depth,
47.
We need
okay.
47. Yes, one minute can go to our bench. 47 needs to. Courtney needs to be on the floor a lot. Jay, questions?
Yes, questions. So Andrew was just commenting on. Did you see the video of the Team USA doing a sing along on the plane, and Melo looked all pissed off?
Oh yeah.
That's really.
Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Gucci writes, have you heard about Lance Stevenson rumors? Would you take a risk with him?
What are the Lance Stevenson stat guy? Lance Stevenson rumors. What are they?
Lance Stevenson. Well, well, people are saying that Lance Stevenson may be the missing piece. I'm not sure about that though. What do you guys think?
The
missing piece.
The missing piece. Yeah. A horrible locker room situation.
Are people really thinking that the Knicks are a Lance Stevenson away from a championship? Because those people should be committed.
I think they're saying they're a Eastern Conference, I guess, destination away. If they have Lance Stevenson, I guess that's what they're assuming.
Isn't that what everyone in LA told themselves like a year or two ago?
Stat guy, would you rather have Lance Stevenson or herpes?
Okay. Or who?
Herpes, the venereal disease. One is treatable. The other one is on your Knicks team, bringing it down. So Lance Stevenson at some point was a very capable NBA player.
Yes.
I don't know if we really need to have like every player on the roster be a I hope it works out player.
Yeah, a question mark.
I feel like we don't want to throw more. Jay, is this a good idea?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
You think it's a good idea?
This entire roster is built on risks, so why not just add all the risks possible? I mean, if you're taking a risk with like pretty much everyone, just go all in. Seriously.
How do you think Lance was fit in? Do you think he'd get a lot of playing time?
I think he would get a good amount of playing time. Yeah. I mean, like, who's our backup three? Lance Thomas? I'd probably rather Lance Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think he's ready to take league minimum and prove himself again.
Who's our backup for Courtney Lee? Sasha?
Lance Stevenson.
Yeah, Lance Stevenson. I mean, the guy would probably get like 20 minutes a game.
Would you rather have Lance Stevenson or Sasha?
Lance.
Stat guy?
Yeah, definitely Lance.
Yeah, I don't know. That's saying a lot, but
Lance actually had a good season. I mean, it was years ago, but he had a good season.
He had one of them.
The Machine has not had a good season.
Yeah, he did pretty good near the end of last season, though, with Memphis. Averaged 14.2 points a game, 4.4 rebounds, 2.8 assists.
I would take that.
He's supposed to be a good passer. I mean, I remember him being a good passer. He supposedly could play defense.
Yeah. Basically everything we need.
Realistically, is he a good risk to take?
Yeah.
You don't want to think about that, huh?
Look at our bench.
I don't know what to make of our bench. It doesn't say win. It's again, it's the win now starters, win never bench. I don't know. It's a weird combination.
I know people are excited about our bench, and we're negative sometimes. Our starting lineup does look good, but our bench does not.
Our benches look. It's not that our bench looks bad. It's not like we have like 7 starters on our bench. Unfortunately, we have one. It's that we have a bunch of guys who have little to no NBA experience. So we really don't know what to make of how they're going to be.
Right, it's usually the good foundation to a rebuilding team, which we're not rebuilding, so it doesn't really make sense.
Stat guy, do you like these? If you could change one offseason move, what would it have been?
One off-season move?
Yeah.
Let's see.
And concentrate on this offseason, not last offseason.
Yeah, I know Jay wouldn't like this one, but maybe getting Dwayne Wade.
I have to say, if they were going to go all in for this year, Wade would have made sense to me.
I hate Wade so much. I can't even entertain that idea.
Do you know when Jay was younger, Jay was hanging out near a pool, and Dwayne Wade pushed him into the pool.
True story.
True story. And then Jay got out of the pool, and Dwayne Wade pantsed him, and then Dwayne Wade slept with Jay's mom. All these terrible things Dwayne Wade did to him.
Even worse, he gave me a purple nurple.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, and a swirly.
So here's the thing, Stevenson would have to take whose roster spot? Probably Baker Randall's roster spot.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's probably still an upgrade. I mean, as much as we like the idea of Baker and Randall, they're probably, those guys every season that we get really hyped about that don't really do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to have a young guy to develop. I mean, then again, Lance Stevenson is 25 years old, so he is a young guy to develop.
Right. And Lance is he's got to realize, he's running out of chances.
You know what's great? As Knicks fans, we can talk ourselves into crazy. Let's take the crazy guy with talent. Why not? How could it go wrong? Every other NBA team that's had him has gone perfectly well.
This guy is best known for blowing in the faces of players during timeouts.
He's best known for getting a big contract from Charlotte and Charlotte wanting him to leave the next day.
I mean, they gave up on him quicker than Denver gave up on Nene after his contract.
Yeah, that I don't know. I guess I would say you're right. You're right in the sense that if you're going to go all in with the roster, which you kind of are, or not all in, but go for I hope this all works out kind of roster. Let's add one more guy and see how it goes. I'm not against it. I would prefer Randall or Baker still getting a spot and Stevenson taking Sasha's place. But I don't think that'll happen.
But even if it's down to Randall or Baker and Lance's ceiling, I feel like, is higher than either of those guys' ceilings.
Yeah, I would say that's without question. So if he could figure it out, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that he was a pretty capable NBA player. So.
Wasn't it just 2 years ago where he was a borderline all-star in Indiana?
I mean, when we won 54 games, he was a really good player, which both seem like a lifetime ago, but both actually were not lifetimes ago.
Yeah.
Questions?
Knicks Jets for life, right? What do you think about Spike Lee trying to recruit Ray Allen
for his next movie? Because I'm down for what was the first one with Ray Allen?
He Got Game.
He Got Game 2. I would totally be down for. He got Game 1. I thought was a pretty solid movie.
I mean, obviously he would be really good for the team, but I don't see why he would go there.
I don't know why he'd come back in the NBA.
Well, I mean, isn't Cleveland trying to recruit him? Why would he go to the Knicks versus playing with his buddy in Cleveland?
If you're retired and just coming back, either he joins. There's only 2 options for him. Either he joins the Cavs or he joins Golden State. Nothing else makes that much sense.
Right.
He wants to I really want to come back after all this time to hopefully make the second round.
Right.
Stat guy, what's the best basketball movie?
Best basketball movie?
Yeah.
Space Jams.
Really?
I actually, in my rec league, I played with a guy with the Space Jam Bugs jersey last week.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Have you seen He Got Game, or have you seen White Man Can't Jump?
No, I have not.
Well, Stack Guy, you have homework.
I'm going White Man Can't Jump.
I'd go White Man Can't Jump also, but He Got Game is top 3, top 4.
I love White Man Can't Jump.
White Man Can't Jump is amazing. Have you even heard of that movie, Stack Guy?
Yes, I have. I just have never watched it.
It is worth watching. It is a great movie. More questions, Jay?
Yes. SD21T sent us Brandon Jennings' tweet where he said "Six God." I don't know what that means.
Stack Guy, what the hell is Brandon Jennings talking about?
Oh, did you guys see what Drake did at MSG?
No.
No.
Tell Jay. Jay, let's hear about Drake.
So I believe it was yesterday. It was the third day. He was on his third day in at the Garden, and he wore a Brandon Jennings jersey. And so Brandon Jennings decided to tweet it out, and it was a picture of Drake on stage with his back facing the camera, wearing Jennings' jersey, number 3.
Oh, that's a picture of Drake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now that I look at it. Yeah. Oh, now I hate it. Okay.
Yeah.
So now Drake's a Knicks fan?
That's what everyone is saying.
He's the worst. He's literally the
He's
worst.
jumping on the bandwagon.
Oh, my God. I mean, the Raptors lose Luis Scola, and he's off the bandwagon.
Hey, the more Knicks fans, the better. I'm happy. And I don't hate Drake the way Jay does.
Drake had a Biombo or bust jersey, and they lost him, so he's out.
Let me ask you guys just a totally different topic. What do you think of one of the things going on in the Olympics? Do you like the way not the Olympics itself? Would you like NBA players in the Olympics? Do you think it's fun?
NBA players?
Yeah, NBA players. It used to be prior to 1992. It was only amateur players. The U.S. only sent amateur players, and then they came up with the Dream Team and so forth. And now every 4 years we send a bunch of
Well, the rule used to be every country was supposed to send amateur players, but it turns out all the other countries weren't. So we're like, oh, you want to play that game? Look what happens when we do that.
Right, but forgetting whether what's fair or not, do you enjoy watching it?
Not really.
Stack Guy, do you watch it?
I watch it.
Is
As
it
a fan, yeah.
Are you excited when the U.S. wins the gold, or are you like, oh, the U.S. won the gold? That's great.
Yeah, I'm like the second.
I feel like they should revise this. It's just not that much fun. It's just from an entertainment standpoint. You don't need to go back. What they used to do, which was really annoying, was it wouldn't just be the amateur players. What they would do is they would have the NBA draft, and then all the guys who were drafted were not allowed to be on the Olympic team. So the guys that were just the best players in college weren't even allowed to go because they all were just drafted. So it would be like the next best players in college going in. And I didn't love. But if you did the cutoff being 23 or 24 years old, then if the U.S. won the gold, it would be pretty exciting.
I actually kind of like your idea better because you still get some NBA players, but you don't have the Knicks winning by 56 points like they did the other day.
Yeah. You mean the U.S. winning by 56 points?
I just wanted to say the Knicks winning by 56 because I'll never get to say it in real life. So
it would be so much more fun just seeing a team that I just want a team the U.S. produces where if we win the title, we're that was pretty awesome. I'm so excited, not we should have won anyway. We have nothing to get. I think the U.S. playing the NBA players, it's kind of like fighting a woman. Not the rest of the world's women, but there's nothing to be gained for it. If you beat up a woman, people are going to be like, yeah, you beat up a woman, great. And if you lose, well, you lost to a woman.
Just to show how bad the rest of the league is, Spain, which is the second best team, just lost today.
Really?
To Croatia.
I know we lost those couple times, but still, it was just if you did under 24, we'd still have a heck of a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah, whatever.
And it would be I don't know, it would be better experience for them too. Does Melo at 32 really need more experience?
It's whatever. He wants to go, and it's great. It's just kind of.
Well, I was just using him as an example. There's some players where you're like, does that guy really need to, does Ginobili really need to hobble up and down the court?
Well, Ginobili doesn't play for the U.S. anyway, but
No, but he's playing in the Olympics.
I don't care what other countries do. We're not going to get everyone else to agree to this. But if the U.S. would do it, it would just be great.
Gotcha.
It would be great, actually, if everyone else in the world did it also. That'd be pretty awesome. There's no way everyone's going to. They'd be like, yes, Victor here is 25. What are you talking about? His name is not Victor, and that's Ginobili. That's Ginobili's younger brother. Just lie, whatever. More questions, guy?
Strong Legacy also sent us a link of Spike Lee recruiting Ray Allen. Good for you, Spike. At least it's keeping him away from making crappy movies.
You like Spike Lee's movies?
I liked Spike Lee's movies like 30 years ago. He hasn't made a good one in a long time, right?
No, it's been a really long time.
Like, has he made a good movie since, like, Do the Right Thing?
No, I don't think so. Well, he got Game was damn good.
Okay.
Okay. Go on.
DJ New Money UK wrote, how many wins will be good this season, and do we get home court in the playoffs?
Stat guy.
Yeah.
How many wins would you be satisfied?
I think if everything goes right, so that's saying D Rose plays at least 60 games. Joakim 60.
Just forget don't give the ifs, buts. Just pick a number.
All right. I say a solid prediction would be around 46.
ESPN says 37. What do you think?
I personally do not see that.
Jay, ESPN actually has been pretty accurate with these numbers. What do you think about ESPN predicting 37 for us?
I mean, I don't think it's outlandish because there's so many question marks on the team. I would say a good wins for this season would be 45, and we do not get home court in the first round.
I say 48 wins. Anything less than 48 wins is a bad year.
48 might get home court in the first round. That might be good enough for the fourth seed.
Well, I still think you're free. He's driving me crazy. Steven's already texting me that my mic is bad. Is my mic out?
Yeah, your mic's terrible.
Why didn't you say something earlier?
Because I just want to do the podcast. I don't want to fluster you and have you touching the mic and making it worse. Your mic is horrible.
Why the fuck is this?
You have the worst mic.
Steven, send me a link for a good mic to order. I will order a new microphone and use that for the next show.
He said it's like listening to a microwave emitter trying to process in its motherboard.
Steven, just send me a new one. I will order a new one, okay?
Okay.
Fucking.
That was our.
Move on to whatever.
That was our Twitter, NY Knicks Podcast. Our email is nyknickspodcast@gmail.com.
It's been terrible the whole show?
Yeah.
What?
It got good like 2 minutes ago. I don't know if you touched something, but
I touched something 2 minutes ago. Is it sounding better?
Yeah.
Why didn't you say something earlier?
Because I said your mic sounds like crap before we started recording, and then you kept saying, is it better? And it wasn't, and I needed to start the show.
What the fuck's wrong with you? Just say something.
What am I going to do? Like, hey, Alakazam.
Every 5 seconds go, your mic sucks until I get a new mic, okay? Just say something. You're driving me crazy. Okay, go on.
What is that commercial with the insurance company? Allstate, get me a better mic.
Get me a better mic. Okay, we'll do that. I will order a new mic for next show. Steven, send me what your suggestion is. I will order that one, and then when that one sucks, I'll whatever.
Then we blame the downfall of the podcast on you.
Yes, we'll blame the downfall on the podcast on me. I don't know why I can't get freaking. Okay, go on with this. Go on. Ask some questions, Jay. Move on with the questions.
So we are announcing that our great listener George has sent us some customized Knicks style old school Nintendo controllers that you could actually plug in to a USB. So you could use an old school Nintendo controller on your computer, but it's customized to with the Knicks Legends on the top.
It is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to be having our first giveaway in a few years. So we're going to put together the details and announce that next episode, and we'll announce the winner the episode after that.
So, major Knicks giveaway coming next episode. We're previewing it by announcing it now.
Right. Getting the hype up.
Yes, the hype up. If you like Nintendo, you like the Knicks, and you like doing whatever we're going to ask of you next show, you could win.
It's going to be pretty easy. So we'll make it easy. It'll most likely involve Twitter, but we'll give the full details next episode.
I think the contest is going to be if you can get Drake to give Jay, if Drake can call out Jay at one of his shows.
Either that or call up our voicemail and give us a formal apology for all his shitty music that he's made throughout the years.
Yes.
631-676-1181 is our voicemail number if you know Drake and can convince him to apologize to us. Andrew writes, are we going to be able to play Brandon Jennings and Rose together? Rose and Jennings together. What do you think, Stats Guy?
If we're not looking to play some defense, I mean...
That is a good answer. I mean, I was going to say Jennings could play shooting guard, but he can't really shoot.
Yeah.
And Rose isn't really the best shooter either. So we could play them together if we don't want any outside shooting or defense. And
yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying a small ball with Rose, Jennings, and Lee might be possible? I mean, that would definitely be a quick lineup.
Yeah, I'm Melo at the 4.
Yeah, Melo Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
I could get down with that.
Yeah.
And Andrew also writes, who is the person on our team talked about least that could be extremely valuable? There's a lot of guys on the Knicks that aren't talked about a lot, so this should be open it up to most of the roster.
Let's see.
Could be Jennings. He's not being talked about very much.
Mm-hmm. He's a possible 6-man of the year candidate, depending on how he plays this year.
Yeah. I'm not expecting too much from Hernan Gomez, so I'm not going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Is Lee being talked about a lot?
Who is?
Courtney Lee. I don't know if he's being talked about a lot. I mean, I know he's
Not
being
much.
talked about a lot in like Knicks circles, but I don't know if the rest of the league is. Because I think he's going to be way more valuable than people are saying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of people, they expect him to do the same thing he's been doing his whole career. I mean, yeah, like, he's going to be really valuable for this team. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to provide, that defense at around maybe 10 to 14 points a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lance Thomas could be on that list, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he started off the season really good last season. If he could play at that level again, he might have something.
His shooting was amazing last year compared to his previous years.
Yeah. All right, so Marc is currently on the phone with his cable provider because his internet connection ducked out. So looks like it'll be the two of us for a little while. Hopefully Marc gets that fixed soon. Andrew writes, do you think the NBA should redo the Hall of Fame, and should they change the logo?
Redo the Hall of Fame.
Do you think there's a lot of people in there that don't deserve to be in there? I mean, I think there's some questionable picks, but I wouldn't say...
Mm-hmm.
It's not as bad as, like, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I think is just terrible.
Mm-hmm. Like, here's the thing with me. Like, I agree. Like, okay, so, Wilt Chamberlain, they all played in a different era, like Bill Russell. But the era they played in, there was not much competition. I'm not trying to downplay them at all. Their success was amazing. But, their numbers were kind of inflated. I don't know how else to say it.
They were. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I think that's the only thing. I mean, you can only judge it by who they played against.
Yeah.
I mean, their competition wasn't as tough, but they did dominate that competition.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they did.
You can't, like, put them in and then be like, the NBA got better, now you're not in.
Yeah.
But I think it's the questionable ones where it's like they had good numbers but didn't really have any tangible success. There's a couple players like that in there where you're like, eh. But then, then on the other hand, like, do you just go by success when you have players like, Garnett, who was an amazing player but was stuck in Minnesota on terrible teams for like 12 years?
Yeah.
As far as the logo goes, the logo's okay. They could use with an update. Kind of looks like early 90s logo. I would say it's not the worst. I don't think it's necessary to like redo the whole thing. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though, yes, do that. Redo that. What else do we got? John writes, Dear Mark and Jay, I've been listening to the Knicks podcast ever since the days of Linsanity, and I've appreciated all the bitterness and humor over the years. Please don't change a thing about the show based on any negative reviews. It's impossible to please everyone, and I want to make sure you know what a great job you do with the podcast. You manage to be consistently entertaining while being funny and completely authentic. Thanks for all the years of insight and laughs. Keep up the good work. Best, Gabe. P.S. Speaking of Linsanity, what do you think of Lynn coming back to New York with the Nets? So, thank you, Gabe. That's kind of emails where it's like, I'm glad we did the show. You're right, it's hard to please everybody. I feel like every time we do anything with the podcast, we get an email saying that was the greatest thing and an email saying it was terrible, never do it again. So I guess we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and we'll take each criticism, we'll read each criticism and think about it. But yeah, it's not smart, I guess, to do a complete revamp because of one or two negative reviews. Linsanity, what do you think about that?
Back in New York, or
so he signed with the Nets.
Mm-hmm. Huge contract.
What was it? It was 2 years.
I think it was a 4-year contract. I'll look it up.
Mark said he called Optimum and they said they're experiencing a high volume of calls and hung up on him. So, I mean, as far as me, I feel like Lynn would be perfect for this team, and I'm kind of upset he's not on the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
I also miss all the downloads we got during Linsanity. I also feel like if we had Lynn, we would have no chance of seeing Sasha on the court, which is also a plus.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's...
Lynn is, yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Lynn is playing or signed a contract for 3 years, $36 million.
Okay, so there's no way we could have even come close to affording that.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. I mean, he deserves it, and I think it's a good move for the Nets.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
what they need.
Thank you, Gabe. Lorenzo writes, Hey guys, if Australia beat the USA in basketball this Thursday/Friday, then all Aussie listeners get a free New York Knicks podcast t-shirt. Deal? Or Mark has to sing our national anthem on a packed subway carriage. Well, I know Mark is not going to do that. So, sure. If Australia beats New York, I will send out a free Knicks podcast to Australian listeners. You have to pay the shipping, though, because shipping to Australia is ridiculous. I'm glad I thought of that before I completely said yes, because that would cost me like hundreds of dollars.
Shipping alone would probably cost more than the shirt.
I think so, yeah. I think it's almost $20 to ship. Not fun. Okay, Facebook questions. Anthony writes, one factor about our team being successful is Porzingis' improvement next season. Do you think he can be an all-star next season, or will it take another year?
Mm-hmm.
I would say he's not going to be an all-star next season. He's going to make a leap, but he's playing a position that's kind of deep as far as as far as all-star teams go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe year 3 or 4 he does it. If he does it next year, the Knicks are in really good shape as far as making the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, last year he came pretty close in voting alone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if he makes a leap, he may get enough support just through voting.
He might. Mm-hmm.
Stone writes, I've been reading some speculation about the Knicks possibly being interested in Lance Stevenson for the last roster spot. His character flaws are well known and have really hurt his standing around the league, but he was a star for the Pacers a couple years ago, and the team probably wouldn't be able to find more talented player at this point, since the Knicks really need more reliable bench players, especially guards. Do you think it's worth signing him and risking the possibility of a new JR? Well, we kind of covered that earlier, and I think we were all pretty much on board with taking that chance.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that chance. Sources are saying that he would probably take a veteran minimum, so even less of a risk.
Well, yeah, I mean, he would have to. That's all we have to offer.
Yeah.
And, I know he struck out on his last 2 teams, but, 2 out of the last 3. He did play well in Memphis. But, I mean, if he's playing for a minimum contract, he knows he's in trouble, and he's going to have to start playing good.
Mm-hmm.
Q writes, Derrick Rose is set to miss training camp, not because of injury, but because of alleged rape. Why does this thing always happen to the Knicks? How good will we be without Derrick Rose? Did you hear about that?
The accusations?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
So do you think that's bunk and it'll get waived really quick, or do you think this is going to be a lingering issue?
Man.
Or do you think he's actually going to get convicted and then he won't be on the Knicks?
Well, man, I just really do not want that. We had JR doing sorts of stuff like that, Raymond Felton.
Yeah, we've had enough off-the-court drama. I mean, hopefully it's just crap and this is somebody trying to get money. As far as how good we'll be without Derrick Rose, I would say not very good. I mean, we're seriously thin in the backcourt with Rose. Without him, we're looking at possibly having a Jennings start with Sasha playing huge minutes. Not good.
Yeah.
Gilliam writes, what % of chance do you think there is that Rose's career goes from now? Okay, so just give me a percentage for all these scenarios. Back to MVP conversation.
I say 0%. MVP conversations, not likely.
I would say.
I just don't say that.
Yeah, over under 1%. All-star level.
I say that's a 50% chance there. I mean, he did pretty well last season. He could bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the Apple, the Big Apple. I mean, who knows? Maybe this. I really don't know. I think so. 50% chance.
I'm going 40. It's possible.
40, okay.
I mean, he's had a couple of years to recover now, and he didn't have a major injury last year, so it's possible. Good level starter point guard.
Elite level.
Good level.
Good. All right. 75% chance. As long as there's no injuries, nagging injuries. Like last year, he got elbowed in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to wear the mask. 75 sounds about right for good level. Average NBA point guard.
Average. Average 85. Same thing with the injuries.
I'm going to say there's a 95% chance he's at 95, least average.
Yeah.
Good bench player.
I think if it wasn't for that salary, if he was just a regular man without his name, without Derrick Rose, I think he'll be a really great bench player.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
if
I
his name
still
was
think he's
Jaren
going to.
Grant, averaging 16.4 a game, 0.4 points a game, and 3.4 rebounds, 4.7 assists.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could even arguably say he's going to be better than a good bench player. So
Yeah.
I would bring that percentage back down just because I think he's going to be better than a good bench player. So I would say, like, we're going back down to like 40%.
Okay.
Out of the league in less than 4 years.
Ooh.
He's what, 27 now?
Yeah. 4 years, he'd be 31.
Supposed to be hitting his prime right now.
Yeah. Man.
I would say only 25% chance of that happening. He would have to
I'll see him around 25.
He would have to blow up his knee again.
Yeah. 20, 25.
Okay. Mark is going to call in on his cell phone, so this should be great. Jay writes, besides the Knicks starting lineup having to be healthy to get far, we need Brandon Jennings being sixth man of the year. There's Mark. Mark. He's connected, but I don't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Talk again?
Yes. You hear me?
But not really. Would they knock out cell phone reception in your place too? You sound like absolute garbage. Are you even talking now? Mark. Say something. Say words into the phone.
Great.
Oh, God.
We'll try going down.
You don't even get reception in your house? This is the worst. I hear walking.
Yeah, probably go down.
That's still terrible. Go down another flight.
I have a feeling what else to do.
Go in the backyard. Go into your garage.
Can you hear me?
It's absolutely horrendous. Try the hall closet. Nope, that's worse. Try the kitchen. I'm running out of rooms to suggest. Try the butler's room. Don't you have like a guest house for your wait staff? Okay, he hung up. Jay writes, besides the Knicks starting lineup having to be healthy to get far, we need Brandon Jennings being sixth man of the year. Will help the Knicks reach the playoffs. Agreed. Jennings is going to have to step up because there's not much guard depth on the bench behind Jennings. Either that or one of these guys we just signed is going to have to really, really shock us. But I wouldn't put money on that. Greg writes, LeBron hasn't signed yet with the Cavs. What if he signs with the Warriors? Should we just fast forward 3 years? Kidding. We know that's not going to happen. Wait. I mean, at this point, LeBron would have to sign for the minimum, I think, to play with the Warriors. So I don't think we have to worry about that. Mark is trying again. Mark. Words, Mark. Say them. Hello. Mark. think he's talking, but you just can't hear him. How do you not have internet or cell phone? Are you like walking around with a candle? Do you have electricity? Jesus Christ. Greg writes, Ray Allen to the Knicks. Thoughts? I think we answered this.
Yeah.
Mark, we cannot hear shit. I think we're going to have to just answer the last couple questions without you, Mark, because we can't hear a word you're saying. You hear a bunch of staticky garbage. Ray Allen to the Knicks. Thoughts?
Here's what someone said about that. Someone commented, 10-time All-Star Ray Allen is contemplating joining the Knicks in an NBA comeback. Allen, a career 40% three-point shooter, would be perfect for the Knicks, who were the 20th in the league from deep at 34.6%. More importantly, Allen will bring leadership and championship pedigree to a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 3 years. But he is 41 years old, right?
yeah. They left that part out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he'll be good for some spot-up shooting. I don't know if he's going to be able to defend anybody at this point. I don't think it's going to like elevate the Knicks to some crazy heights that seems to imply.
And he's pulling a shot of Sasha. You know, he hasn't been in the league in a few years.
Yeah. Only unlike Sasha, he had success prior to that. Q writes, should we have Derek Fisher back as our backup shooting guard?
Derek Fisher.
Fisher was pretty bad his last couple years in the league, wasn't he?
Yeah, he played for Oklahoma.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he wasn't very good there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say no.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him. I'd rather get Randle.
Agreed.
Or Ron Baker.
Agreed. Greg writes, are you guys mad that Melo is playing in the Olympics? Personally, I am not mad now. If he should get injured like early because he's tired from playing in the Olympics, I will be mad. But if he can handle both, more power to him.
And he's talking about Melo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, with the way the U.S. team's been blowing out teams, like he's probably not going to play more than 20 minutes a game. He should be able to handle that.
Yeah.
And it's only, a span of 2 weeks, and then he's got another 2 months off. I mean, it shouldn't affect his NBA season. And maybe playing with all those All-Stars will, elevate his game a little bit.
Give him some confidence.
Yeah. Anthony writes, thoughts on Michael Jordan saying Blake Griffin should be the star of the next Space Jam and not LeBron? I don't know. I don't know what all the hype is about Blake. He's a good player, but he seems so bland in all those commercials. I feel like LeBron has as much as I don't like LeBron, I feel like he has a better camera presence. Like LeBron was in that comedy movie, and he seemed better than Blake's been in those whatever car commercials. That's my personal opinion. Gilliam writes, would you give a player contract to Fisher if that means Sasha is cut? Absolutely. I would give a pretty much any player a contract if it means Sasha's cut.
I mean, Phil Jackson wants Sasha because of his experience with the triangle. I mean, Derek Fisher has even more experience. I would pick Fisher over Sasha.
Yeah, that's just more triangle. Let's make it happen. Jerry writes, who are you more confident in for the upcoming season, Rose or Noah? That's a tough one. I mean, Noah looked like absolute trash last season.
Yeah. I mean, missed a lot of games because of that shoulder injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I would. I think Rose. I can't believe there's a player I'm more confident in. But yeah, I think I would say Rose.
Mm-hmm. I can see both players having success, though.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be totally shocked if they were both healthy this season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hopefully they are. We're going to need them both to be healthy. Almost done here. Grant writes, I think I'll ask this question before Greg does. Interview with Derrick Rose. What is your opinion on the Derrick Rose interviews?
I love them.
It's a very controversial topic here.
Yeah, I love all the interviews. Derek Fisher. Wait, you guys haven't done Derek Fisher, have you?
Well, we had fake Derek Fisher on the show.
Okay, yeah. Woodson.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
I'm
not sure why so many people hate him, though.
I don't know.
It's actually really funny.
Well, all I have to say is that there's not going to be much new Knicks news for the next month and a half, so you may get an appearance from some old friends of the podcast. That's what I'll say about that. Just some plain old guy says, interview with Stats Fire Extinguisher sparring partner. Does that mean Stat? We haven't done a Stat interview in a while. We might have to do that soon. Next question is interview with Stat. Interview with Rose. Interview with Woody. So I'm guessing just some really likes the interviews.
Yeah.
I will say where Woody will come back. I could say that with confidence. Martin writes, who takes the final spot on the roster and why? I would go with, it's got to be Baker, right?
Baker,
because he's a guard.
It's not Lance. It's not Lance Stevenson.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go out on a limb and say it's Lance?
I'm not. Oh man, I would like Lance, but I don't really see Phil. Bringing him in.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a
I'm
Phil
not sure.
guy.
It seems unlikely to me. You would pick Baker over Randle?
See, I haven't seen either one play too much, so I can't really say. You know what? I would like to have them both on the team and just get rid of a Plumlee.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the more backcourt depth we have, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they did pretty well in the summer league. I know Randall had around 18 points and Baker had 14, averaging 14 points.
Yeah, I would say one of those, and why? Because it's our weakest position by far, and we desperately need more people to play that position.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all our questions. Do you have anything you would like to plug? Any social media networks you're on that you want us to plug, or working on any projects or anything?
Well, I'm not sure if you guys use this, but I use Bleacher Report. Like from the latest articles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that helps me keep up with everyday sports. Knicks.
Are you on anything that, like, do you have your own? Do you want to plug your Instagram or something so people can follow you?
I mean, you guys could. My Instagram is NYCESPEDES Cespedes, like the baseball player. So
I'm sure Marc would appreciate that. Okay, so NY Cespedes on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. That just so happens to be my last name too. So
okay, that works.
Yeah.
I am following you right now. So what did we learn today? We've
learned
that Marc has the worst internet connection ever.
that is true. After he was assaulting me over mine.
Yeah, exactly. We learned that the only thing worse than Marc's microphone is his internet connection. We learned that we are totally willing to take a chance on Lance, even though he hasn't been good in about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that we really, really, really would like to see another guard on this roster.
Definitely. We've learned the Olympic Melo's pretty great.
Mm-hmm. All right. So thank you for joining us. And sorry about all the technical difficulties, but I hope you enjoyed yourself anyway.
Yes, sir.
And I guess we'll be back in a week or two. So there'll be we'll be back soon. Anyway, that's about it. So check out the NewYorkKnicksPodcast.com. Follow us, NY Knicks Podcast, on Twitter. We will be announcing our contest soon, so stay tuned for that. If you follow us on Instagram, NY Knicks Podcast, I will be putting up a picture of the prize. So finally found a use for Instagram. So thank you, everybody, and we'll be back soon.
My love.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye.
You better go away.
I'm gonna leave you.
It's the end.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone.
Feels so good to say goodbye.
I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl.
Goodbye, 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 everybody.
Cabela's is coming to Northern Virginia with a spectacular new store in Gainesville. Find everything you need for hunting, fishing, camping, and shooting sports, plus much more. Join us for our grand opening celebration Thursday, March 9th at 10 a.m. Be one of the first 500 in line and receive a Cabela's gift card worth up to $500. Plus, a chance to win one of 3 Remington firearms. See store for details. Don't miss Cabela's grand opening in Gainesville, located off I-66 and Highway 29 near Virginia Gateway.